Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling a question I get all the time. How can I possibly save or invest when I'm barely making ends meet? It's a real challenge, and if you've ever felt that way, you are definitely not alone. The classic advice, like the 50-30-20 rule, sounds great in theory, but when your income is tight, it can feel completely out of reach. So, you end up doing nothing, feeling stuck. But what if I told you there's a smarter way to split your money, even on a low income, that actually works? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll have a clear, actionable plan to start building wealth, no matter how much you earn. Let's get into it. First things first, let's address the elephant in the room, the famous 50-30-20 rule. This rule suggests you spend 50% of your after-tax income on needs, 30% on wants, and 20% on savings and investments. It's a fantastic starting point, but for many, especially when you're just starting your career or living in a high-cost area, that 50% for needs just isn't realistic. Your rent or mortgage alone might eat up a huge chunk of your paycheck, leaving very little for anything else. Trying to force your budget into this mold is like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. It's frustrating, and ultimately, you'll probably just give up. So, let's throw out the rigid numbers for a moment and introduce a more flexible approach. I call it the adjusted money split. So, how do you build one? The gold standard is to have 3 to 6 months worth of essential living expenses saved up. Now, I know what you're thinking, 3 to 6 months. I can barely save for next week. Don't panic. Remember our rule, consistency over perfection. You don't need to get there overnight. Start small, okay? So you've been disciplined. You've built your emergency fund. It's sitting there, protecting you. Congratulations, that is a massive achievement. Now, and only now, are you ready to start making your money work for you through investing? That 10% you were putting towards your emergency fund can now be redirected towards investments. The goal of investing is to grow your money over time, to build wealth that can give you financial freedom down the road. It can feel intimidating with all the jargon and charts, but I promise it's more accessible than you think. Let's break down a few beginner-friendly options. First up, we have index funds. If you're a total beginner, this is where I'd recommend you start. An index fund is like a basket that holds tiny pieces of many different companies. For example, an S&P 500 index fund holds shares in the 500 largest companies in the US instead of trying to pick individual winning stocks, which is incredibly difficult. Even for professionals, you're betting on the overall growth of the market. It's diversified, meaning your risk is spread out, and it's typically very low cost. Think of it as putting your money on autopilot. You set up regular contributions, and you let the market do its thing over the long term. It's the definition of set it and forget it investing. Next, let's talk about individual stocks. This is what most people think of when they hear investing, buying shares of a single company, like Apple or Amazon. While the potential for high returns is there, the risk is also much higher. If that one company does poorly, your investment value can plummet. For a beginner, I would advise against putting a large portion of your money into individual stocks. It requires a lot of research and a strong stomach for volatility. If you are really passionate about a particular company and have done your homework, maybe allocate a very small percentage of your investment portfolio to it, like 5%. Treat it as play money you can afford to lose. For the bulk of your investments, especially when you're starting out, the diversification of an index fund is a much safer bet. Another option you might hear about are exchange-traded funds, or ETFs. These are very similar to index funds. They are also baskets of stocks or other assets, and they offer great diversification at a low cost. The main difference is how they are traded. ETFs can be bought and sold throughout the day like individual stocks, while traditional index funds are typically priced just once at the end of the day. For a long-term, beginner investor, this difference is pretty minor. Many ETFs are index funds themselves. So, an S&P 500 ETF and an S&P 500 index fund are essentially doing the same thing for you. The key takeaway is that both are excellent tools for building a diversified, low-cost portfolio. Finally, a quick word on robo-advisors. These are online platforms that use algorithms to build and manage an investment portfolio for you based on your goals and risk tolerance. You answer a few questions, deposit your money, and the robo-advisor handles the rest. They often invest your money in a mix of low-cost ETFs. This is a fantastic option if you want to be completely hands-off and are willing to pay a small management fee for the convenience. It takes the guesswork out of investing and is perfect for anyone who feels overwhelmed by the idea of picking their own funds. So, let's bring it all together. We've covered a lot, but the core message is simple. Your income level does not define your ability to build a better financial future. What matters is your mindset and your habits. Stop feeling guilty about not being able to follow the 50-30ths at 20 rule. Create an adjusted money split that works for your reality, even if it's 70-20ths at 10. The numbers aren't the hero here, the habit of splitting your money is. Prioritize building that emergency fund first. It is your shield. It gives you the security to weather life storms and the confidence to start investing. Once that's in place, start putting that future self money to work in simple, beginner-friendly investments like low-cost index funds or ETFs. Automate everything. The less you have to think about it, the more likely you are to stick with it. It's not about how much money you start with, it's about starting. It's about the power of consistency and time. A small amount invested regularly can grow into a surprisingly large sum over the years. You can do this. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this gave you a clear, practical roadmap to get started. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content on making your money work for you. Let me know in the comments what your adjusted money split is going to be. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next video.